Alright. Welcome to another Infinity Kingdom guide. In this one, and today we are going to be talking about crit and the difference between troops and immortals and boosting crit rates or other attributes of troops and immortals. This springs from a question about Trajan versus William, boosting the crit rate of Immortals with Trajan or boosting the crit rate of troops with William. What's the difference and what does it matter? So there are many different ultimates abilities in Infinity Kingdom, and one that it does have a quite peculiar and particularly intricate mechanic behind it is the very strange and odd differentiation that the devs have chosen to make between these two fire immortals, namely William and Trajan, and in the way that their ultimate abilities work. Reading them out, William's ultimate reads increases the crit rate of all troops by X% for 6 seconds, whereas the ultimate ability of Trajan reads Immortal critical chance will be increased by 10% for 6 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So this leads to a very interesting question, one that a player has asked me. It was submitted via this YouTube channel. He asked, what's the difference between boosting crit rate of troops as mentioned in William's skill and boosting the crit rate of immortals as mentioned in Trajan's skills? And I think that this is a very valid question. Moreover, he continues, is there any difference between boosting the crit rate of troops and boosting the crit rates of the immortals, and which one is better? So this was an excellent question, and thank you for the question. I really do appreciate it. I believe it was Pink Shark who posed this question, and it is an excellent one. So today what we're gonna do is talk about precisely this. What the devil is the difference between boosting crit rates or other attribute stats of troops or immortals? Let's dive right on in. The difference between troop stats and immortal stats. There is a major difference between increasing the attributes of your troops and that of your immortals. First of all, immortals' ultimate abilities are damage scaled based on the attributes of both your immortals as well as your troops and your troop count. That means that the higher troop count you got, the higher troop cumulative stats you have, the more damage your ultimate ability deals on said immortals. That is also why maintaining a high troop count, as we know through all the many builds we've done this far, is extremely important on those damage dealers. However, we don't actually know the precise damage equation, and we can't really say that boosting troop stats is this much stronger or this better than immortal boosts. But I can say with quite some confidence that just making a distinction between boosting troops and boosting immortals and the stats thereof. Think of your troop tiers as well, where you get a boost to the troop stats. It is a quite significant boost, and one that is stronger than boosting an immortal one-on-one. Again, because of the multiplication being done by high troop counts. Besides this, this little clarification I wanted to get in there, I actually picked up Discord and hit up one of the Yuzu employees. He's part of the Infinity Kingdom team and connected with the press officer team, and I asked him to comment on what precisely is the difference. He verified that, applied and verified how these things actually work, and it was quite interesting because it turns out that boosting troops means you boost all troops regardless of what kind of troop and what kind of immortal affinity elements that these troops are linked to. So it could be Hannibal Barker Shieldman, it could be Bathory Bowman, or it could be William Cavalry. It doesn't matter. Boosting troops affects everything. On the complete contrary, what I got back from this employee was that boosting Immortals crit chance, like what is being done with Trajan's Rain of Fire ability, only works on Fire Immortals. That's the distinction that the devs are making, behind the scene, because it doesn't read that. It just reads boosting of Immortals, and one would assume that boosting every single Immortal in the game. Well, nope. It's boosting the Immortals ultimate abilities critical chance of Fire Immortals, and only Fire Immortals. It's a very important distinction, and one that has quite a lot of meaning behind it. What that means is that William is boosting the crit rate of everybody. Trajan is boosting the crit chance of Fire and only Fire Immortals. This is a big deal if you're doing hybrid builds, for instance. Like I've seen a lot of players try to boost, mix in Trajan and Williams into Lightnings and Shadow teams, for instance. For you guys trying to make Trajan work with Lightning or Fire, or Shadow, stop it. It's important to stress that you simply cannot use Trajan in any hybrid build. It turns out that it doesn't work, and that he only boosts Fire Immortals. William, however, does work, and adding him is a very nice card to hold. You are able to do proper crit builds with all elements by mixing in a William in the setup. Which is better then? As for which is better, I think that it's pretty simple. If you're running Fire, then Trajan is better. And with Fire, I mean a standard late game Xian Wu Fire. His skill is simply, Trajan's skill is simply better as it quickly stacks up, providing 50% critical hit chance. Basically making it impossible for both Chase and Xian's ultimate ability to not constantly proc. Furthermore, every time it's applied, and it is continuously applied again and again and again, you are engaging the Fire Dragon's third skill, providing you a solid 10% damage buff. That is also the case with William, but seeing that Trajan's buff mechanic is one that is applied more often and stacks, as it stacks, then you are gonna get a lot higher consistency and reliability for Ninkasa, or whatever, however you pronounce the Fire Dragon's third ability. Going over the unique artifacts for both William and Trajan just shortly, it's kind of the same story that continues. William grows stronger and is still very, very strong. However, Trajan's buffs are boosted more, and he becomes extremely powerful in your fire team. But again, he is useless in anything but fire. Ultimately, I think that for the classic standard, proper fire March main, if you're main in fire, you will be running Xian Wu Hippo Trajan, and I do believe that Trajan should be the last Immortal and not William. However, if you are running a dual mage build, then and hence no Xian, then could be, for instance, Baldwin Wu, or Cleopatra Wu, Merlin Wu, something like that. Then I would actually recommend that you run both of them, run both William and Trajan, because pumping out with the dual mage backline, you want to really get as high of a burst potential and get the crits front loaded. You don't want to wait around for Hippo to come online and Xian to come online. You can activate right up front, and you do that excellently by running both Trajan and William. It should also be noted that these two Immortals actually do have quite a nice synergy, since boosting the crit rate and then boosting the crit chance in a stackable way, and then with their ultimate, their uniques, adding even more crit damage and crit chance, you get some really powerful magic damage burst procs. I do also want to say that for hybrids, obviously Trajan is an absolute no-go. I think that point has gone through by now. Never use Trajan anywhere else but fire. Doesn't work. William, however, works excellently. That's it for William and Trajan. You know, troops versus immortals, boosting one or the other, boosting either troop crit or immortal crit. Turns out that it actually means boosting fire immortals or everything. Right. Again, a little hidden gem. The dev team is not always very kind to us with their explanations of what abilities does, and this leads me to my last point in this video. I want to sort of advocate that each and every single one of you, if you're sitting around with a question like the one here, like the one that Pink Shark had about William and Trajan, I hope that you'll reach out to me and ask, because I love actually getting deeper into these rabbit holes, figuring out what these strange meanings are behind the text and the descriptions of abilities, synergies, what works, what doesn't, what kind of, sort of unwrapping the hidden mechanics of the game. It's awesome, and do hit me up if you have ideas for more of this kind of content. As always, please do subscribe to the channel. I consistently release new content here on the IK channel and on the official IK Wiki website. Links are in the description. On these channels you can find guides from everything in IK, from events to talents, passives, finished builds, and game mechanics. With that, I'm gonna leave you, and as always, thank you for watching, and see you for the next one.